later on. It's a sport which is usually an advert for sportsmanship, but just occasionally its own very high standard does drop a little bit. There was an example of it this very week, and there have been one or two examples of it in the past. And in rugby league it tends to happen on the field, and they do get tucked into it. Now here's Harry Gratian.
Well, to be fair, Des, incidents like that, and that was the replay of the Yorkshire Cup final between Castleford and Bradford Northern, are very rare occurrences. And the Rugby League acted quickly in that case to fine the players involved £100 each, and both clubs regretted the incident bitterly. But it has to be said that the family image of the game has taken perhaps a more severe battering this week. It happened really at a fairly innocuous second division game, at least innocuous on paper, between York and Dewsbury. And these were the headlines that greeted everybody on Monday morning. The press, of course, had a field day. The brawl, well, that lasted for up to 6 minutes, according to one account. It involved at least one director in some shape or form, and generally tarnished the one thing Rugby League treasures, its family image. Well, with me now is the Secretary-General, David Oxley. David, those kinds of headlines must really worry you.
Yes, of course they do, as they ruin any sensible person. Just 6 seconds there, actually, in the Bradford final. Reporters are up to 6 minutes. The inquiry on Tuesday, of course, will establish exactly what did happen at York last Sunday. And without prejudging that, I venture to suggest that at the end of the day, we shall see that those headlines we've just seen were again way over the top. Nevertheless, these things do happen, and when they do happen, they cast a shadow on the game's image, and we don't like it, and we shall eradicate it.
Now, what will you do then? Because you said the big meeting is on Tuesday. Everybody's expecting you to throw the book at York and Dewsbury. Is that what's going to happen?
Well, that's inevitable. So 6 players, as a matter of fact, have been named by the referee, who did his job in taking names of the people involved, just 6 players. I can't prejudge, obviously. We mustn't say too much about Tuesday, but anybody found guilty of bringing the game into disrepute can expect very stringent action indeed.
What's behind all this, though? Is it the problem of the referees that we've talked about at length on Rugby League Focus, or is it the indiscipline of the players?
Too simplistic, both of those. I think it's more complex than that. Rugby League is a very physical, very competitive game. I mean, this afternoon, in about an hour's time, 2 splendid teams, Wigan and Leeds, will exchange something like 500 tackles, each involving 2 or more players, 1,000 physical confrontations in 80 minutes. So occasionally it does go over the top. I think what we've had is, as happens in life sometimes, good and bad, you get a concentration of things that normally take perhaps a year and a half to unfold. And I believe that's the situation. We're not going to be panicked into taking silly action, but we are going to act decisively, firmly, and we're going to eradicate the blemish from the real face of Rugby League, which I venture to suggest we shall see in about an hour's time here.
So, just not to put too fine a point on it, York and Dewsbury can expect to be fairly heavily treated then on Tuesday?
Those that are found guilty of bringing the game into disrepute, I don't think they would expect anything less, and I'm sure their directors and the fans would expect us to do nothing less than that.
David, thank you very much indeed. Well, let's now concentrate on the league scene for a moment and have a look at the top of the First Division, where there's been no significant change, apart from Widnes gaining a 5-point lead at the top, having played 11 games. But then come Warrington, Leeds, who of course we'll be seeing this afternoon, Bradford Northern and Wigan. So the First Division Championship race still very much wide open. And in Division 2, well, Oldham, who we'll be seeing next week in the other semi-final, they're top, a point clear of Wakefield Trinity, Sheffield Eagles, Barrow, Runcorn and Workington. But today, this afternoon, we're going to concentrate on the first semi-final in the John Player Special Trophy. It brings together Wigan, who are going for a record 3 wins on the trot in this competition, and Leeds, who won the competition twice in the past. Now, these two sides met way back in 1983 in the final, and then Wigan were coached by a certain Mr. Alex Murphy, and on the day, the Mouth won.
And collapse, Wigan ball. Oh, good tackle. Good tackle from John Holm. Wigan's first scrum of the half. Boy. Henderson Gale is going for the corner. Is he in? Yes, he's in. Well, what a try from nowhere. A yard from the line. Another try would surely seal Leeds' fate. Scott. And Julie popping up from nowhere. Well.
A year later, Leeds won the trophy, beating Widnes.
Just inside the Leeds 25. Andy Gregory again. Oh, good long pass to Mick Burt. Oh, and he's going. Oh, a lovely try. Oh, nice switch to Bell. He's got Holmes with him. Oh, and a beautiful try. A great try. An excellent combination there. Well might John Holmes raise that pistol off. Oh, good ball. Very, very good ball to Mark Lorry. To Rain. Well, he's just going to go on his own. We've got Kevin Dick. Will he take it? Oh, yes! Oh, a masterpiece of juggling from Kevin Dick there. Gary Moby and Holmes really looking after Adams. Mick Adams trying one of his famous up and unders. It's hovering. It's anybody's ball. Has he got it? Yes! Referee Thompson gives the try. And who is it? None other than Joe Lyden.
Well, I think we all agree that potentially the game today is just about going to be the best game of the season. Now, we've already seen Wigan in the first round play some outstanding rugby in a marvellous game to beat Castleford. And of course, Leeds have been in action in the competition as well. In the second round, they took on the Challenge Cup winners Halifax. And their big money signings, Lee Crooks and Gary Schofield, all £350,000 worth of them, did the trick. This superb reverse pass by Tunks gave Schofield the opening, and a lovely dummy coming up, sending everyone the wrong way, gave him the try. Lee Crooks is beginning to settle down as well, the touchline goal confirming that. So do the lads feel under extra pressure because of their big money labels?
No, not really. I think the pressure's going to be on the day anyway. I mean, semi-finals are a big occasion, there'll be a big crowd there. We're fully aware that if we play to our capabilities, then there's not going to be a lot of teams that are going to beat us, and it's just up to us to make sure that we do that.
I've just been doing a quick calculation. I'm looking at £350,000 worth of footballer here. Does that sort of figure bother the two of you?
Well, obviously we know that you know, the sort of money's being spent on us, and we know it's at the back of his mind. But we've got to make sure we put that, you know, again, in the back of his mind, because if we let it worry us and we take it out into the park, it's going to show. So I don't think myself will need, don't worry about that. All we want to do now is, you know, big success to Leeds, which, you know, we did that at Hull, and I say obviously circumstances prevailed where we had to leave, and I say hopefully we can do it for this new club.
You're worth the money, Lee.
I think we both, you know, very much so worth the money. I think that we've proved that, you know, we are playing well. I think over the last few weeks we've proved our the capabilities that we've got, and we've proved that we're a big asset to the club.
And a final appearance in your very first season at the new club would be the icing on the cake.
Well, the Leeds club haven't been to a final since the last John Player final they did win in, so obviously it would be nice. And I say the Leeds public getting behind us now with the crowd we've had at Helens for the last 3 games, and I say hopefully we can do it again from this season.
Is that Wigan have shown 1 or 2 significant changes in their lineup. In fact, 3 youngsters come in. Nicky Kiss, Graham West, and one of the other regulars is out of the team. So obviously Wigan are gambling to a certain extent. Incidentally, Andrew Sheldon, the New Zealand capture, who was, I understand, signed and cleared to play at 3 o'clock this morning, won't be playing this afternoon. Well, I don't know whether it's an omen or not, but Leeds have already beaten one side from Wigan in this very competition, Springfield Borough. Now, Springfield Borough are a combination of Blackpool Borough and the other Wigan club based at Springfield. Eddie Hemmings reports.
Think rugby league and you think of Wigan. World club champions, the most famous side in the world. But little more than a drop kick away, on the far side of town, is the other Wigan. No, not Wigan Athletic, but Springfield Borough. Last season, this club was Blackpool Borough. Because of financial problems, they had to either fold or find a new home. But why choose Wigan?
A number of places were looked at, and the second consortium was a consortium from the Wigan area who came up with the idea of moving to Wigan Athletic. And in effect, the best deal from the number of places explored was from Wigan Athletic. So we are here for 5 years with a 5-year option.
Doesn't it create tremendous problems, though? Because, after all, you are still a Blackpool club, and yet you're operating on match days here in Wigan.
No, we're not a Blackpool club. I think you're wrong there. We are very much a club based in Wigan now.
But do you think that Wigan is a town that is big enough to look after the interests of 3 major sporting clubs, Wigan Rugby League Club, Wigan Athletic and Springfield Borough?
If we hadn't have thought that, we wouldn't have come here. I think one of the main problems is living in the light or in the shadow of Wigan Rugby Club itself. But it's a rugby-mad town, and you know, once they realise that the potential here is as good as it is. I mean, you've got to remember this: we had a wonderful start to the season in the pre-season friendlies. We're beating First Division opposition. We've beaten Barrow and Wakefield, who came down from the First Division last year, in this cup run. And today we hope to beat Leeds.
At first, it looked like the move was a success. 2,000 people turned up for their first fixture, but since then, gates have dropped dramatically. Mike Marsland, a former director at Swinton, who tried unsuccessfully to take rugby league to Stockport, is the chairman of the new Springfield Borough.
It's a very big area, you know, the whole, within a 6 miles radius of Springfield Park, a 250,000 people. And this town deserves 2 great rugby league teams. Let's hope we can give them 2 great rugby league teams. We've got a big board, 15 people, and some very strong people on that board, and again, they won't be with us unless they want to see success, and success is a long-term prospect rather than a short-term one.
Not everyone, though, is convinced it was a good move.
We find it rather sad, really. Obviously, Blackpool had great problems, and we sympathise with them, and if we could have given them any help at all at Blackpool or anywhere else, we'd have been the first in the queue. If they'd moved to another area to expand rugby league and enthuse a new public and bring new spectators into the game, we'd have applauded them, we'd have been excited by it. As it was, we feel that they took the easy option and came to a town that's alive and vibrant with rugby league, and can only see it as an attempt to cash in on that.
Well, now they're here and they have established themselves. What do you think of the move now?
I'm still against it. You can't change your principles midstream. I think at the end of the day, it won't be my judgment that counts. This club is, this very week, 115 years old, and I think the public of Wigan will eventually decide the fate of Springfield Borough and not the directors of Wigan Rugby League Club. I'm also disappointed with some members of Rugby League Council who couldn't find it in their hearts to face up to the reality, and that was that Springfield, or the old Blackpool Borough, couldn't make it pay in Blackpool and couldn't say no to them, and took the easy option as well and let them come and join us.
I'm saddened by that because we're here for 10 years minimum. We have to make friends. We're trying our very best to make friends with everybody, and quite frankly, the attitude of the Wigan situation has disappointed me a little bit, but who knows, time may heal that.
And of course, what you would want more than anything, I'm sure, is a crack at them on the pitch.
Well, financially, certainly, because our lads don't want paying for that much.
So that's the Springfield Borough for you. They didn't win that game, but this afternoon at 2:15 we've got the whole match, the first semi-final of the John Player Special Trophy. Don't do your Christmas shopping just yet, because this is going to be rather special. Now, just to show you that the Rugby League is deadly serious about cracking down on the bad side of the game, they want to know the names of these 2 people who were involved in that ugly brawl at the end of last season. Can you help us, Des?
I could probably put a couple of names, but I'll phone you later, okay, Harry? Thanks very much. Right, we're off racing once again. The 120, and waiting there for us, as you see, is Harry Gratian. Got the brolly out this morning,
well, I suppose,
Harry.
Good morning to you, Des, or good afternoon, I should say. I suppose you could say, in fact, that conditions were perfect. Who am I trying to kid? It's absolutely pouring down here, but we're looking forward to the prospect of a great game.
Yeah, that's Leeds against St Helens, JPS Trophy. How important is that in the great scan of things in the world of rugby league? It is the early season big one.
It is indeed. I mean, there's an awful lot of money at stake. I think the winners take back something like £16,000. So in rugby league terms, that's a great deal. And when you consider that clubs like Leeds and St Helens have spent a great deal of money trying to strengthen their sides, they need that cash to keep them together for the rest of the season.
Yeah, Leeds, in a sense, are doing a Liverpool, aren't they?
Well, they are, yes. They're an incredible side. I mean, they're buying players and they're selling players, and everything's going for Leeds at the moment, Des, and they could well be the side to watch in the future. We were talking about Wigan last year. Perhaps it's Leeds this time.
Yeah. What sort of crowd are you expecting there today, Harry?
Well, we're hoping for somewhere in the region of 25,000. To be honest, Des, if you look at the weather here, that's bound to detract 1 or 2 people from coming along, but we're optimistic that we'll get 20 to 25,000 and a great atmosphere will be created.
Well, we hope so. They've got a choice, of course, either go to the match or watch it with us.
That's it.
But off you go. Tell us a little more about it now, Harry.
Well, of course, this is the traditional Roses battle between Leeds, the big money spinners, and St Helens, who've never won this trophy. Now, in fact, we'll be concentrating on this particular game in just a few minutes' time, but I think we ought to bring you up to date, first of all, with what's been happening on the league scene over Christmas. And this is how the Stones Bitter Championship looks. Widnes are still top, but they were walloped by St Helens 25-0 last week. Wigan are second, they beat Halifax in midweek. Leeds, well, they're third, and then come Warrington, Bradford Northern and St Helens. Warrington, by the way, were involved in a stormy game with Wigan over Christmas when 4 players were sent off, and there's a league inquiry about that game. Now in Division 2, Sheffield Eagles are still top there, but Oldham, well, they have 5 games in hand, and Workington, Featherstone Rovers and Runcorn are all very close indeed. Now the amazing try-scoring record of Martin Afire, Chariots to his friends, ended over Christmas, ironically, at St Helens. But he leads the field with 23, but watch out for Ellery Hanley, and there are still 4 Wigan players in that top 10. But now let's concentrate, shall we, on today's final. Now St Helens have never actually reached a final before, but so far in this competition they really have played some excellent rugby.
Hume. That's a good ball. 5 yards from the Saints line. And he spotted the gap, Mackenzie. To Sorensen. With the weight and the power, he's over. Oh, interception. To Les Quirk, he's got it. Tremendous piece of opportunism. Les Quirk is over. Seconds ticking away for Widnes. Surely too late now. 12 points to 4 for St Helens. Can we see one last effort from Afire? Here it is. He's got the full-back to beat. Phil Beavers. Oh, he's gone round him with absolute ease. What a magnificent effort from this lad. Haggerty. Oh, good pass from Haggerty. Oh, it's a superb pass. Andy Platt did well to take that. Now then, a test here for Saints defence. Oh, he's over. Yes. Oh, that's a good chip. Beavers has missed it, and he's in. Yes. Gary Warner kick. Oldham using the 2-man acting half-back system, 2 men going up. Shane Cooper did very well to get the ball out there. Former, this is still going. Bernard Dwyer. Paul Loughlin. Saints got about 6 or 7 men outside. Haggerty. Yes, he's over. Steve Peters complaining to the referee, Jim Smith. But Roy Haggerty just stretched over. Oh, good ball. Beautiful dummy. That man, Shane Cooper, completely fooled everybody. And that must be the try that takes St Helens through to the final.
Now, in sharp contrast to St Helens, Leeds have been in 4 John Player finals, and they've won on 2 occasions. Now, 3 of the Leeds players who played in their last success in '84 are still in the side today. They are David Creaser, Kevin Rain and David Heron. Not forgetting, of course, their coach, Maurice Bamford.
Andy Gregory again. Oh, good long pass to Mick Burke. Oh, and he's going. Oh, a lovely try. Well, what a start from Widnes, a dream start as Ralph Rinton there. Widnes left wing, took the easiest of passes from Mick Burke. Running very strongly, Gary Moby, I think.
Well, the Leeds forwards, Ray, are running tremendously hard. They've got this win with them, and they are a very fit side now. Maurice Bamford's got them sorted out, and they're coming very strong.
Oh, nice switch to Bell, he's got Holmes with him. Oh, and a beautiful try, a great try. Oh, good ball, very, very good ball to Mark Lorry, to Rain. Well, he's just going on his own. Got Kevin Dick, will he take it? Oh, yes! Oh, a masterpiece of juggling from Kevin Dick there.
But of course, it's current form that really matters. Now, if you like rugby league, and you do, don't you, you must have enjoyed the game that we showed on Grandstand just before Christmas, the first semi-final between Leeds and Wigan. It was an absolute classic.
Hampson. Oh, beautiful dummy from Hampson. He's got Lydon outside him, but I think he'll go himself. He will, no problem. superb intrusion there by Steve Hampson. Leeds are creating the overlaps, it's just that the tackling. Oh, here's a chance. Oh, Medley scoring himself. Well, Hampson missed him, and there's a try from nothing. Tremendous defence from these two sides when we consider that both sides have really tried to attack. They've put moves on. Oh, and Gary Schofield, did I not say that when we're on television, this man always pulls the tricks out for us. Gary Schofield electing to run, and that just shows the confidence of this centre. Oh, beautiful ball to Morris. To Maskell for the try, yes! Brilliant try!
And if today's game's half as good as that, it'll be a classic, I'm sure. Well, in fact, the Leeds players have just had a look at the rather muddy conditions here at Central Park, but they'll be getting themselves changed in the next few minutes and very much ready for the game. Well, both teams, of course, have so much to offer. Leeds are captained by Peter Tunks, and St Helens, well, they rely a great deal on their little number 7. Neil Holding, undoubtedly one of the game's great characters and a Saints veteran, now enjoying his testimonial year. But he admits that this season hasn't been the best of starts for him.
Well, first of all, I had a bad injury. I broke my jaw in I think it was the Lancashire Cup game at Leeds, and I was sidelined for near enough 3 months. And as I've been coming back, I mean, it takes, after an injury like that, as other players will know, I mean, a broken jaw sustained so early on in the season, after you've done all your training, you've got a lot of work to put back in to get up to that high standard. Well, I think now I've just started to get my confidence. After about 3 or 4 games, the confidence is just starting to come back.
And that's certainly evident in the team as a whole as well, because you really are playing well, aren't you?
Well, the team's playing really well now. We've had a couple of bad results on our part, but the lads have started believing in ourselves, well, believing in each other as well, and it's showing through in the games we're playing.
There seems to be a nice blend in the whole side. Let's have a look at the backs first of all. And you must admit that Shane Cooper is the guy who's made a tremendous impact since he came here.
Well, Shane is a very quiet lad, really, off the field. But I mean, when he gets on the park, you've got the likes of, he picks different runners up. He's like the likes of, he knows where Roy Haggerty and Andy Platt's going to run, and he motivates everybody in his own way. He gets the backs running, the forwards running, and as well as in training. I mean, he's unbelievable in training. The amount he talks on the field, and when he comes off, it's just as though somebody stitched his mouth up, really.
When you look at the forwards, though, too, you've got someone like Andy Platt who relishes all kinds of responsibility, doesn't he?
Well, Andy's come a lot more forward this time. I mean, this time last season we had Chris Hartridge, who's been sidelined with a bad injury, and Andy's stepped up that gear, and I think he's got the forwards running where Shane has got the backs. I mean, that's the link between Andy and Shane now. We've got Andy who's he puts himself about the park, like numerous positions, and he's doing well for the team. Now,
St Helens have never won this trophy. Do you think about that? I mean, is it a kind of voodoo against you?
Well, I don't know. We had a voodoo in the semi-finals, I think. I think it was 5 semi-finals and not getting through to the final. And it might be, is it 6th time lucky? I hope it's 6th time lucky for Saints.
Peter Tunks, the Australian, is Leeds captain and leader by example. Leeds started badly in early season, but recent form has been outstanding.
Well, obviously, early in the season when I first came over here, we had a few deficiencies in certain areas, and obviously it took a while for new players that Leeds had brought to blend in, but it's been a rather rapid process since everybody arrived, and now we're putting the results together.
What about your own game? How have you managed to assimilate into the British way of rugby league?
Well, you know, it is very different to what I'm used to in the Sydney Premiership, but I expected that. But it's just a matter of trial and error when you get over here. You just have to fit in with the blokes that you're playing with, and sort of it's just a different pattern of football over here altogether.
Now, let's be honest, you've got some pretty useful players as well. Perhaps the world's greatest centre, certainly one of the world's greatest centres at the moment, Gary Schofield. Just assess him. How good a player is he?
Well, Gary's one of those players. You know, he's a world-class centre, and he's a match winner, as you can see by his individual effort in the semi-final at Bolton. When the game was a balance there, it took a player of his calibre to come in and just score a try that really wasn't on, and that's why he's worth so much money.
What do you say his strengths are?
Well, he just always seems to be there and get over the line, you know, like there's a lot of players that are good players and quite fast and everything like that, but Gary just has that anticipation and he just always seems to make sure that he gets over the line.
Now, he costs a great deal of money, and yet one of the best value for money players at the moment is someone who's cost Leeds nothing, because he's been playing so well for the forwards, Paul Medley.
Yeah, well, Paul's a great young prospect. He, when I first came here at the start of the season, everyone was well aware of his running potential, and occasionally he could pull off a very big hit in defence, but I think Paul was suffering a little bit by maybe his inconsistency, but I think playing with you know, some of the other players that we've bought, Lee Crooks, Gary, and some of the Australian blokes, it's been a bit of a bonus for Paul, and his game now, both in attack and defence, is a lot more consistent week in, week out.
Well, we've got good Australian conditions at the moment. It's still pouring down, but I'm sure Peter Tunks will be able to cope with all that. Now, we've got a bit of a problem in the commentary box. So what's new, you might say? No, I don't really mean that. Alex Murphy and Maurice Bamford are our usual inter-round summarisers, but of course they're both involved today. So what did they think of each other? Maurice first.
I can't answer as a coach because I've never worked under or with or played for Alex. I know as a bloke he's a great guy. He's always a pleasure to meet. He's always the same when you meet him. You always get a laugh out of him because he's a very humorous fella. But because I don't know anything about him as a coach, Harry, all you've got to do is look at his record. It's first class, it's exemplary.
But what do the other people say about him then?
Well, we're on TV, I can't tell you really. There's a lot of things that Alex Murphy's a legend in his own, I'm going to say his own mouth time, his own lifetime. I think he revels in being Alex Murphy. I think it suits him. And I think he does the game a great credit in a lot of ways.
What is he like as a television commentator?
He's about the second best caller in the business.
Maurice Bamford, as a guy, a smashing bloke. As a coach, he's a good coach because he's got his message over at Leeds. I mean, irrespective of what people say, he's signed a lot of expensive players, but good players, and I think he spent his money wisely. It's very funny, really, that two coaches in Saturday's final are two coaches that's been sacked from Wigan. So, you know, we must have something right. It might be their loss.
What about Bamford as television commentator?
He's very good. He's learning. You know, he'll never be in the AGM stage, but he's getting better.
Marvellous battle to look forward to then on the field as well. Now, one of the big talking points in rugby league generally has been the signing this week by Leeds again of David Stevenson, the Wigan player. Now, the figure was estimated between £75,000 and £100,000. David's with me now. I'm trying to present this macho image of no umbrella, and you've got an umbrella over you, David.
It's raining quite heavily now, Harry.
Let me tell you, why have you made the move, actually, from Wigan to Leeds?
I've made the move because I've not been happy for quite a long time, in fact all season, and Leeds came in New Year's Eve, was very surprised, very pleased to be joining them.
Are things going wrong at Wigan? I mean, I don't want you to delve too deep into that, but clearly one or two people are beginning to say, well, their aura of invincibility isn't quite what it was.
I don't think things are going particularly wrong at Wigan. A lot of the teams now, Leeds, Warrington, St Helens, Widnes, they're catching us up, or catching Wigan up, what Wigan did last year. Teams are getting better, which is making it harder for Wigan.
Now, of course, it'd be a bit frustrating for you here watching this game, won't it?
Very frustrating. Having been beaten in the semi-final by Leeds, who deserved to beat us on the day, it was my first semi-final loss since I've been playing the game. It'd be very frustrating watching this afternoon, but I hope the boys do well.
David, I hope you enjoy the game. Just before you go, leave us the umbrella, will you?
Certainly.
Thank you very much.
Umbrella for you earlier, or have you doing contortions with your hand around your back or something?
We certainly need it at the moment because the weather isn't particularly good, but we're not worried about that. We're tough up here in the north, as you well know, Dave.
Certainly. Now listen, I hesitate to ask you this because you went for Oldham in the semi-final, but who are you going for today?
Now this is really a difficult one. I wonder whether the conditions...
So was that.
I wonder whether the conditions actually might just favour St Helens a bit. I'm a bit careful because Leeds supporters are all around me at the moment, but I just wonder in fact whether St Helens might just have the edge today. Murphy, of course, the mouth, thinks it's a certainty.
OK, well he would. Thanks, Harry.
OK, Des.
Back with you later. The whole match coming up for you live, JPS Trophy final, just after 2 o'clock, 10 past 2 or so. We'll be back for the match there this afternoon at Wigan. Now, of course, as far as rugby union is concerned, the Five Nations Championship gets underway next Saturday. Let's show you pictures of what's been going on this morning, because the England first...